Welcome, dear friends, to Old Age Wisdom. Today, we are discussing something of great importance for all of us. Did you know that a fall sends an older person to the emergency room very frequently? In fact, every few seconds? The surprising truth is that a small, often forgotten muscle in your lower leg is connected to most of these incidents. Sadly, many doctors do not highlight its role. This muscle is incredibly vital, yet it is commonly neglected. Just 2 minutes of daily exercise to strengthen it can remarkably reduce your chances of falling by as much as 85%. Understanding this can truly be life-changing. What is even more concerning is that if you are past 60 years, this crucial muscle is likely weakening as you are listening to me. But please do not worry. In the coming moments, I will share some very simple exercises. These are the same exercises that helped Mr. Walter Brooks, a 68-year-old ex-serviceman, to stop falling completely. The best part is you can do these exercises while watching your television, while your morning tea is brewing, or even when you are sitting at your desk. They are that convenient and easy to fit into your daily routine. Let us meet Mr. Walter Brooks. He is a retired Air Force colonel, aged 68, living in Scottsdale, Arizona. For many years, Walter was known for his disciplined morning habits, waking at 5 a.m., doing 50 push-ups before his breakfast, playing golf twice a week, and swimming every Sunday. Everyone thought he was invincible. However, last March, his life changed suddenly. While simply reaching for his favorite coffee mug, Walter's foot seemed to catch on nothing at all, and he fell. This strong man, who had faced combat, found himself on his kitchen floor, shocked. He was diagnosed with a hairline hip fracture, an injury that put his active life at great risk. At the rehabilitation center, Walter had an encounter that changed his perspective. He met Dr. Sarah Chun, a specialist in sports medicine. She told him something quite startling. "Colonel, your fall was not due to a lack of strength or fitness. You have been overlooking the one muscle that is most critical for maintaining balance." Following Dr. Chin's straightforward 2-minute daily routine for just 6 weeks, Walter was not only walking again, but was also back playing golf, and his scores were even better than before his accident. His turnaround was thanks to a muscle you might not know, but it can be the key to your independence versus needing constant care. If Walter's experience strikes a chord with you, please do give this video a like. The information we are sharing next could truly transform your well-being, here on Old Age Wisdom. The muscle that made such a difference in Walter's life is called the tibialis anterior. It is a slim muscle located along the front of your shin bone. Many people are not even aware of its existence, yet it is active with every single step you take. Its main job is to lift your toes when you walk, making sure your foot clears the ground properly. Imagine, as you walk, your brain instructs this muscle to lift your foot just enough to avoid tripping. However, a significant issue arises after the age of 60. This muscle tends to weaken much more rapidly than any other muscle in your body. This is a critical piece of information for maintaining mobility and safety as we age. The consequence of this weakening is that your toes might begin to drag. You might find them catching on carpets, door saddles, or even small cracks in the pavement that you never noticed before. It is quite astonishing that most doctors do not bring up this muscle during regular health checkups. Why is this so? Often, traditional medical practice focuses more on treating falls after they occur, rather than on prevention. Even fitness instructors sometimes miss this, concentrating instead on bigger muscle groups like the quadriceps and hamstrings. So, if you find yourself often catching your toe, stumbling on uneven paths, or feeling your foot stick while walking, it is a sign your tibialis anterior is already becoming weaker. Have you felt this? Please do share with a yes in the comments. We at Old Age Wisdom encourage you to subscribe for more such insights that are seldom shared by doctors. You might be asking why this specific muscle weakens so quickly after 60. The scientific reasons are both interesting and a bit concerning. A noteworthy 2023 study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that the tibialis anterior loses its strength 40% faster than other leg muscles as we grow older. One primary reason is reduced peripheral nerve sensitivity. As age advances, the nerves that transmit signals from our brain to this muscle become less efficient. It is similar to a mobile phone with a poor network signal. The message to lift your foot gets delayed or is not clear. According to Dr. Michael Harrison, by 65 years, Many people have lost about 30% of the nerve endings in their lower legs, which makes precise foot movements more difficult. Secondly, our modern footwear is also contributing to this muscle's decline. Those very comfortable, cushioned shoes we often prefer are actually doing the work that your tibialis anterior should be doing, leading to its underuse and weakening. Consider our ancestors, who mostly walked barefoot or with very basic footwear. Their tibialis anterior muscle was constantly engaged. In contrast, today's thick-soled shoes lead to what scientists call muscle amnesia. Your brain essentially forgets how to properly activate this vital, stabilizing muscle. Further research makes this even clearer. A 2022 Mayo Clinic study that followed 1,000 senior citizens for 5 years discovered that those with weak tibialis anterior muscles were 3.7 times more likely to have a fall that needed hospitalization. More alarmingly, simple strength tests revealed that 89% of participants over 65 had considerable weakness in this muscle, yet none had been diagnosed or received any treatment for it. This highlights a significant gap in preventive health care for our elders. However, the same study also brought some very good news. It found that just 8 weeks of specific, targeted exercises not only helped restore the muscle strength, but also improved nerve sensitivity by as much as 60%. Participants in the study reported feeling much younger, as if decades had been rolled back when they walked. One 74-year-old participant beautifully described it, saying, "It's like someone turned the lights back on in my feet." The scientific evidence is quite conclusive. If you ignore this muscle, you are taking a big risk with your independence. But if you strengthen it, you are effectively installing a continuous safety system for your body. Are you prepared to learn the exact exercises that can help reverse this decline and add many more active years to your life? Keep watching Old Age Wisdom. Let us now discuss the warning signals that indicate your tibialis anterior muscle might be weakening. Recognizing these early signs can be crucial in preventing a fall that could seriously affect your life. Here are some common red flags that many seniors tend to overlook. Firstly, the shuffle walk. If you notice you are taking shorter steps and barely lifting your feet from the ground, this is not just a sign of growing older. It is your tibialis anterior signaling it needs attention. Secondly, threshold troubles. Do you find yourself pausing before stepping over door frames or small obstructions? Do you have to consciously remind yourself to lift your feet higher? This means your brain is aware that the muscle is not responding as it should. Thirdly, the toe stub epidemic. If you frequently catch your toes on carpets, pavement cracks, or even on smooth floors more than once a month, this is a significant warning. One study highlighted that older adults who reported frequent toe stubbing were 5 times more likely to experience a fall within the following year. The fourth sign is uneven surface anxiety. Do surfaces like grass, gravel, or cobblestones make you feel nervous or unsteady? When your tibialis anterior weakens, your brain loses confidence in your body's ability to adjust to different types of ground. The worrying aspect is that most people simply dismiss these indicators as normal parts of aging. They are not. They are your body's early alert system. Ignoring them is like ignoring a smoke detector. Please take a moment now. How many of these warning signs do you recognize in yourself? Do type the number in the comments below. If it is more than one, it is important to take action today. Remember Mr. Walter, who ignored these signs until he fell. Let us not make that same mistake. If you are finding this information valuable, do consider subscribing to Old Age Wisdom for more tips on healthy aging. Now, for the truly transformative part, the exact 2-minute routine that changed Walter's life and can do the same for you. These 3 simple exercises target your tibialis anterior with great precision, and you can perform them almost anywhere and at any time. Exercise 1 is the power toe raise. Let's begin with this foundational exercise. If you are new to this or have concerns about your balance, it is best to start while seated. Sit upright in a firm chair with your feet flat on the floor. Now, keeping your heels firmly on the ground, lift your toes and the front part of your feet as high as you comfortably can. Hold this position for 2 seconds and then slowly lower them. That is 1 repetition. Aim to do 15 repetitions. For the standing version, which Walter progressed to after only 2 weeks, stand near a wall or a chair for support. The movement is the same. Heels stay down and toes lift up. The most important thing is control. Do not rush the movement. You should feel a gentle warmth or burn in your shins. That is your tibialis anterior muscle waking up and working. Here is a secret to progressing that many therapists may not share. Begin with 15 seated repetitions daily. After 1 week, you can try doing 10 seated and 5 standing repetitions. By the 3rd week, your goal should be to perform all 15 repetitions while standing. The wonderful thing about this exercise is its convenience. You can do it while watching television, waiting for your tea to brew, or even during advertisement breaks. No special equipment is needed, and there is no need for a gym membership. A pro tip: if you experience any sharp pain, please stop the exercise immediately. A mild burning sensation is normal and indicates your muscle is working. However, sharp pain is a sign that you should consult your doctor before continuing. Remember, consistency is always more effective than intensity. It is far better to do 15 perfect repetitions every day than 50 hurried ones once a week. Your tibialis anterior muscle responds best to regular, gentle stimulation, not to occasional overexertion. Next, we will discuss the heel walk, an exercise that quite literally saved Walter from a potential second fall. Physical therapists often call this exercise their secret weapon for fall prevention due to its effectiveness. Exercise 2 is the balance-building heel walk. This is the exercise Walter credits with restoring his confidence. It appears deceptively simple, but it is remarkably powerful. Here is how to perform it correctly. Start by standing tall, with your feet about hip-width apart. Lift your toes and the balls of your feet off the ground, so you are balancing only on your heels. Now, take small steps forward, walking just on your heels. Try to take 10 to 15 steps forward, then rest. This completes 1 set. Aim to do 3 sets. Correct form is very important here. Keep your core muscles engaged. Imagine someone is about to gently poke your stomach. Look straight ahead, not down at your feet. Your arms should be relaxed by your sides or slightly extended outwards for balance. Each step should be careful and controlled. The most common mistakes that can reduce the effectiveness of this exercise are: 1. Leaning too far backwards, which can strain your lower back. So, try to stay upright. 2. Taking very large steps. Smaller steps actually activate the muscle better. 3. Rushing through the exercise. Slow and steady movements build strength more effectively. And 4. Holding your breath. Remember to breathe naturally throughout the exercise. Now, let's talk about modifications, because everyone starts at a different level. For beginners, do this exercise next to a kitchen counter or in a hallway where you can lightly touch the walls for support if needed. Intermediate individuals can perform it without support, but it is wise to stay near something sturdy, just in case. For advanced practitioners, you can try it with your eyes closed for 5 steps, but only when you feel completely confident and safe. Walter himself started with just 5 steps while holding onto his kitchen counter. What makes the heel walk so special is that it compels your tibialis anterior to work hard, while also improving your proprioception, your body's inherent ability to sense its position in space. It is like fitting a GPS system for your feet. A crucial safety tip: always wear shoes that offer good grip, or perform this exercise barefoot on a non-slip surface. Never attempt this in socks, especially on smooth hardwood or tiled floors, as that is simply inviting trouble. You can set a timer for 45 seconds and see how many good quality sets you can complete. Remember, good form is always more important than the number of repetitions. Every careful step you take today is an investment in your future self, ensuring continued mobility and confidence. Your efforts now will be greatly appreciated by you later. We at Old Age Wisdom are here to guide you. So if this helps, please let us know and consider subscribing for more. Now for our 3rd exercise, the surprisingly enjoyable alphabet writing, which makes strengthening feel more like a game. This exercise is so effective that Walter now does it while watching his favorite television shows. Exercise 3 is the brain-boosting alphabet writing. This final exercise might seem a bit unusual, but it is truly ingenious for re-establishing the connection between your brain and your feet. Walter calls it his secret weapon, and here is why. Sit comfortably in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. Lift your right foot slightly off the ground, just a few inches. Now, imagine your big toe is a pen, and use it to write the letter A in the air. Make the letter large and your movement deliberate. Continue writing through the alphabet, or until you start to feel some fatigue. Then, Switch to your left foot and repeat. This exercise is powerful because you are not just strengthening the tibialis anterior muscle, you are also rebuilding neural pathways. Each letter you form requires precise control, compelling your brain to send clear and accurate signals to this vital muscle, thereby improving your brain-foot communication. The beauty of this alphabet writing exercise lies in its multiple benefits. It improves fine motor control in your feet, enhances balance through better muscle awareness, and keeps your mind engaged while you exercise. Plus, it can be done virtually anywhere and at any time. To keep it interesting, try some fun variations. Walter's favorite is to write the names of his grandchildren. You can also spell out positive words like strong or balance, or try writing numbers in simple shapes. For an added challenge, you can even attempt cursive letters. Walter shared that his granddaughter found it quite amusing watching him write her name with his toe, and now she often joins him, turning it into a fun foot writing contest. A useful tip: if writing the entire alphabet feels like too much at first, just start with letters A to E. Remember, quality of movement is more important than quantity. Focus on making each letter clear and controlled. This seemingly simple exercise offers a double benefit: strengthening your muscle while also sharpening your mind-body connection. It is like rehabilitation cleverly disguised as a playful activity, which is precisely why it works so well. So, what can you expect when you commit to this 2-minute daily routine? The timeline of results might just amaze you. In the first week, which we call the awakening, you will likely notice something quite remarkable within just 7 days: a heightened awareness of your feet. Walter Brooks described it as feeling like his feet had been asleep for years and had suddenly woken up. You will begin to catch yourself before potential stumbles occur. That slight drag in your step? You will start to feel it and correct it almost instantly. Then comes week 2, the strength surge. By about day 14, the real benefits begin to show. Your tibialis anterior muscle starts responding like a well-maintained machine. Those toe raises that might have felt difficult or even impossible at first, you will find yourself performing them with newfound confidence. Walter noted, "I noticed I could clear my doorstep without even thinking about it, something I'd struggled with since my fall." By week 4, you will experience the balance breakthrough. This is when everything truly comes together. Your increased strength combines with improved neural connections, leading to what physical therapists refer to as automatic stability. Walter shared, "I walked across my lawn, which had uneven ground that used to terrify me, without a second thought. My wife actually cried seeing me move with such confidence again." By this point, Walter was not just back to his mobility level before the fall, he was even better. His golf partners noticed he was more stable during his swing, and his walking speed had increased by 30%. Most importantly, that constant fear of falling had vanished. But the story gets even better by week 8. Walter didn't just maintain his progress, he achieved what his doctor called remarkable. His balance test scores were not just good for a 68-year-old, they were comparable to those of active 50-year-olds. He even began teaching these exercises to his fellow veterans. Clinical trials support this, showing an 85% reduction in fall risk after 8 weeks. The key, however, is consistency. Missing a day occasionally is all right, but skipping weeks will hinder your progress. Think of it as brushing your teeth, a small daily habit that protects something very precious. Let me share some insider tips to help you get the best results and make this routine a lifelong habit. For maximum impact, morning exercises often work very well. Your muscles are fresh, and your balance centers tend to be most responsive early in the day. Try doing these exercises right after your breakfast or while your morning chai is brewing. Evening also works, perhaps during television commercial breaks. The main thing to remember is that consistency is more important than the specific timing. To make it stick, link these exercises to your existing daily habits. Walter, for instance, does his toe raises while brushing his teeth, heel walks while waiting for his morning toast to be ready, and alphabet writing during the evening news. This method, known as habit stacking, can increase success rates by as much as 70% because you are integrating the new exercises into routines you already perform every day without fail. You do not need any fancy equipment, but a few simple items can be helpful. A kitchen timer or your phone alarm can be used for tracking your exercise duration. A yoga mat might provide some comfort if you are doing any exercises on the floor, although these are mostly chair-based or standing. Grip socks can offer better traction. For more advanced progression later on, a balance pad is an option, but it is not essential to start. It is also important to be aware of red flags. Please see a professional if you experience sharp pain during exercises, feel dizziness or severe unsteadiness, have existing foot conditions like neuropathy, have had recent surgery or an injury, or if you see no improvement after 6 weeks of consistent effort. Remember, these exercises are meant to complement professional medical care, not replace it. Now, which exercise are you thinking of trying first? Please do comment below. Type 1 for toe raises, 2 for heel walking, or 3 for alphabet writing. Your choice can be quite revealing. Let me tell you a bit more about Walter's truly incredible transformation, because his story could very well become your story too. Just 6 months ago, Walter was seriously considering selling his golf clubs and even thinking about moving to an assisted living facility. Today, he is playing his best golf in years and is leading a fall prevention group at his local VA center. The change in him was dramatic. Walter went from shuffling fearfully across his own kitchen to confidently hiking on desert trails with his grandchildren. His doctor was absolutely stunned by the improvement. Walter's doctor remarked, "Your balance scores have improved by 300%. Whatever you are doing, please keep doing it." This shows the profound impact these simple exercises can have when done consistently. But Walter did not keep this valuable knowledge to himself. He started sharing these exercises with his golfing friends. Within just a few weeks, all 4 of them reported feeling more stable and confident during their golf swings. One of his friends, who had been using a walking cane for some time, found he no longer needed it after only 1 month and left it in his car permanently. At the VA center, Walter now volunteers his time, teaching these exercises to fellow veterans. He has helped over 50 seniors regain their confidence and improve their mobility. His most heartwarming success story is about an 82-year-old Korean War veteran who was able to dance at his granddaughter's wedding, something he thought he would never be able to do again. This is the power of strengthening that one small muscle. Walter often says, "I spent 30 years protecting our country, but I almost lost my own independence because I ignored a tiny muscle in my shin." Please do not make my mistake. Your freedom to move, to play with your grandchildren, to live life fully and on your own terms, surely, that is worth just 2 minutes of your day. Think about what your independence truly means to you. The ability to walk confidently to the market, to travel without constant fear of falling, to never feel like a burden to your family. All of this can depend heavily on the strength of one often overlooked muscle. So, we have learned today about the vital tibialis anterior muscle, how its weakening can lead to falls, and how simple, targeted exercises, the power toe raise, the heel walk, and alphabet writing, can significantly strengthen it, improving your balance and reducing fall risk. We saw how Walter Brooks reclaimed his active life through these exercises. Remember, consistency over a few weeks can bring noticeable changes, enhancing not just your physical stability, but also your confidence. Start today itself. Your future self will thank you for it. If this video from Old Age Wisdom could help even one person avoid a life-altering fall, please show your support by hitting that like button right now. Kindly share this video with someone you care about. It might be the most important information they receive this year. And please, do not forget to subscribe to Old Age Wisdom and press the notification bell for more life-changing advice that doctors often do not have the time to share with seniors. What was your biggest takeaway today? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching.